Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Summer or winter?
Summer, definitely.
A boat or a plane?
Wow. A boat.
Why is that?
I was just thinking about it. I don't go on boats very often, but I was brought up in a fishing town. So I just feel more connected to boats. But I used to travel on planes a lot and not on boats, but boats are better.
Okay, so when you first joined in 1995, what was it like compared to now from then?
So bigger. I used to work for a company called Schlumberger in. I'm from Felixstowe, right? So you might need to go look it up. It's a really big container town. My dad worked in a factory, and I often say to people now, I wouldn't. You don't get grants anymore, but there were grants there then to go to university, and my family wouldn't have been able to afford for me to go to university. And one of the things that helped was I got a sponsorship from the local factory. So I was there for a year, and then I thought I want to do maybe something else. And I applied for this company that was called CHP Consulting then, and it was in London, which felt like another country to me.
Yeah.
So I started going into London, but it was small. And I kind of felt I was taking a bit of a risk because I was employee number 16. There's 350 of us now. And we didn't have that much work when I started. So on some levels, it was kind of cool because it was easier to make a difference. So easier to be noticed. Now's better, but I can see a lot that's good from working for a smaller company.
Okay, fantastic. What was it like when they made you CEO in 2016? Did you always want to be CEO?
No, is the answer to the second question. It's kind of massive, actually. So before I was CEO, I was COO, with the O standing for operations. But if you're COO, you're not the boss. And so there's kind of it's somebody else's fault still. So I ran a big part of the business, but it wasn't that everything was my responsibility. And suddenly you change one little letter and then everything is your responsibility, and you feel it. You absolutely feel it on your shoulders. Today, 350 people pay their mortgages in part down to decisions I have to make. It can feel lonely, but sometimes that loneliness you sort of bring upon yourself because so it's kind of interesting. I'm involved in a big conference about inclusion and diversity tomorrow.
Okay.
And inclusion obviously is massively important, as important as anything actually. But I think leaders sometimes forget to include themselves. We sort of think there are lots and lots of people. It's important that everybody brings their best self to work and everybody can thrive and feel good about themselves. I like being it. I like it. I like the variety of what there is to do. But a thing that I often say to people of about your age is that dog is that hello, sweetheart. I know. See, I love dogs. That we sometimes in this country get people to specialize too often, too early. I really like it that you're doing business because there's lots of different aspects to business. But I didn't know what the heck I was good at, what I really wanted to be. So I just made sure I was doing things that I enjoyed. And if you do stuff you enjoy, then I guarantee you'll be good at it.
Does Alfa Systems offer apprenticeships? And if not, are you planning to?
Alfa Systems does not offer apprenticeships at the moment, but we are looking at lots of different options. We want to be sure that if we did offer apprenticeships, internships, etc., that it wouldn't be an empty thing. We want to make sure that if we did offer it, then it would be productive for everybody concerned. But absolutely, one of the things we are utterly committed to is to make sure that we have the right kind of impact. And that's part of our wider view. We've done a few things that are not a million miles away from apprenticeship. So we work with an organization called Makers Academy, which is about people who set off on one path and then they want to work in software. It gives them the conversion and then they come and work for people like us. But no, it's a really important thing for us to be considering. So we are taking a look at it. Absolutely. Right. What do you want to do? What is your life's ambition?
So I sort of want to I want to work in a bank, or
Okay.
I'm not completely sure about what I want to do. I just want to, I don't know, work in a corporation. I'm not that sure, but I like IT, and I like because I like maths. I've got
Great.
and I like business. Like the course I'm taking right now, I really enjoy it. So I'm learning to enjoy business more.
So my big question for you is wind the clock forward 20 years. So how old are you now? 17?
16.
18, 17, 16. Okay. Same age as my daughter. So, so if you imagine the 36-year-old you looking back on what you've done, what would make you say that's been great? What are the ways that you would judge, yeah, I've done okay?
I think if I was to be comfortable by 36, I would have already traveled the world. If I enjoy my work, if I know that I'm okay in life, I'm great.
Yeah.
I enjoy my life at the moment at 36. I think I'll be really, really happy.
It's an interesting thing you say though about the idea of being okay in life. So obviously that's financial. You know, we all need to eat, but you know, stuff like having space for yourself and you know, being in a good place mentally. And I guess part of the reason I asked the question is that I guess there are lots of interacting and sometimes conflicting things that you want to try to achieve.
I think it's really, really important that CEOs do this to talk to other people and females like me, because when we look at CEOs, we think they've got a whole different life to us. They're at the top, they're untouchable. And it's not like that, because me speaking to Andrew right now, I see that he's a genuine person. He's like me and you, anybody in this world who wants to achieve. And I think it's amazing that this experience has showed me a different perspective. So that's why I urge other CEOs to do the same thing, because it's important to show that me and my friends and family are able to see a different side of CEOs.
We have an obligation to, as leaders, to help bring people along, but also just to demystify it. We talked about myself and Naheedah where we come from or where I come from, and it wasn't obvious that I would take the path that I did. And it wasn't necessarily a path that I would assumed I can take. And it's okay to have that ambition. It's also okay not to have the pressure for conventional success as well. It's fine to be the person that you want to be too, but it doesn't feel like there should be barriers. I think removing those kind of barriers, talking to people, talking to young girls in particular who have more of these barriers than others. And actually, one of the great things about this kind of engagement, which is why there's no real substitute to it, is that hopefully Naheedah's seen that I'm a human being as well. I'm not like a different animal. There's not some kind of CEO type of person that is different to the rest of you. We're just human beings. So the person I'll be nominating is Ruth Lees, who's the CEO of Investec.